Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to understand the concept of trade unions. Trade unions play a crucial role in the organizations in getting the things done as a part of their rights from the employer. Trade unions represent the workers or employees in the organization. Let us understand the concept of trade unions. Along with this, in this video, we will try to discuss about types of trade unions and why do people join trade unions, what are the functions of trade unions, and the challenges faced by trade unions. Trade union is defined as a voluntary organization of workers formed to promote and protect the interest by collective actions. So in this definition, we can understand trade union is a voluntary organization of workers formed. The reason is to promote and protect the interest of workers in a collective way. So trade union is a voluntary organization of workers formed to promote and protect interest by collective actions. In another way, trade union is defined as any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relations between workmen and employers, or between employers and employers, or for imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade or business, including any federation of two or more trade unions. So trade unions' main purpose is regulating. Let us try to understand the essential elements that characterize a trade union. The first element that characterizes a trade union is it is an organization of all categories of employees, whether they are skilled, unskilled, clerical, technical, and so on. And these people receive remuneration for their services. In general, employers' organizations are not considered as trade unions, but there are some exceptions. So first element explains that trade union is an organization of all categories of employees, whether they may be skilled, unskilled, clerical, and technical. And these people will receive remuneration for the services. A trade union has a greater or smaller degree of continuity and permanence. So if a trade union has to be called and recognized as a trade union, means it should have some recognition, and it should have the registration, and it should have the earlier existence and continuity. Spontaneous assembly of workers in the event of an immediate incident or an outrage, it is not considered as a trade union. On the spot assembly of workers in the event of any happening or any incident or any outrage. So when people are forming into a group, that mob, that cannot be called as a trade union. So if a trade union has to be called, means it has to have a greater or smaller degree of continuity and permanence. On the spot assembly of workers is not considered as a trade union. Third one is a trade union is formed with certain objectives in view. So every trade union is formed with certain objectives. These objectives may be short term, such as raising of wages, increase in wages, improvement in working conditions, improvement in terms and conditions of employment, or else long term, such as acquisition of political power, reforms in economic system, or promotion of workers' solidarity. So any trade union will have definitely two types of objectives in their mind. One is short term, second one is long term. So short-term objectives are related to immediate needs of in the employment or working conditions related to employment. Long-term objectives are the protection of the workers in different situations and the long-run security for the workers. The fourth element is a trade union has a specific structure and it has a different functioning. So any trade union will have a specific structure and functioning. And a trade union may be formed at a plant, a locality, or a region, industry, or even at national level also. So a trade union may be formed at any place. It may be at plant, it may be at locality, or it may be region, or it may be industry, or it may be at national level. The composition of its membership, it may be on the basis of craft or skill, or occupation, or industry, or employment. But in all cases, it has some sort of structure and administration. It is in the form of office bearers, executives, general body, and specialized committees. So any trade union will have a body or an organizational structure. With the help of the structure only, it functions. And different positions are also created to run this trade union when it is formed. Next one is trade unions adopt different methods for achieving the objectives. So they use to achieve their objectives. That may be long term or that may be short term. The trade unions may adopt different approaches like collective bargaining, pressurizing the government for welfare measures, and resorting to industrial action, including strike and demonstration wherever necessary. So, trade unions will have the advantage of having strength where they can negotiate about the demands they have, or they can pressurize the government for getting the welfare measures, and they may resort to strikes also, and they may show their actions wherever they are necessary. So sometimes these trade unions will be giving benefits to the workers. Sometimes the employees may be deviated because of trade unions and their political affiliations. But definitely trade unions are going to give protection uh, to the individuals or workers in the organization. These five are the essential elements of characterizing a trade union. Let us try to understand why workers join in trade unions. So there are different reasons why workers join in trade unions. One is defense against exploitation. Second one is fulfillment of social and esteem needs. Third one is compulsion to join. Fourth one is peer group influence. Fifth one is sense of empowerment. So first one is defense against exploitation. So as an individual or as an employee, the individuals cannot fight with the system, and the employers will try to exploit the employees, and they may try to suppress the interests and the rights of the employees, and sometimes they may violate uh, the rules of giving bonus or sharing profits or providing minimum amenities also. In such a case, the individuals will try to form as a trade union, and they will try to fight with the employer. Sometimes the employer unnecessarily may remove the workers also. In such a case, when people join trade unions collectively, they may fight with the employer about the exploitation of employees so that they can protect their rights. When the employees feel that there are some inadequacies in terms of working conditions, in terms of safety and health measures, wage benefits, promotion policies, hours of work, and in other areas, if employees feel that some inadequacies or gaps are there, definitely these trade unions will try to uh, fight with the management to get the uh, their things done. So defense against exploitation of from the employer is one reason why workers join trade unions. Second reason is they want to fulfill their social and esteem needs. Sometimes employees may join trade unions because they may like to have the company of people with similar interests and attitudes. So if they feel that joining in that group is going to provide satisfaction, definitely they may join in this union. And in the same case, when any individual joining in a particular trade union, he may feel that he is going to be met all his physiological needs and as well as security needs, followed by the social needs and as well as esteem needs also. So to fulfill the basic needs and the needs related to affiliation also possible when individual workers join in the trade unions. Third reason why workers join in trade union is compulsion to join. So in some organizations, union membership is almost compulsory, especially where there is a single union with near monopoly. So only single union is there. That union uh, compels the individuals to join in the trade union. So employees will not have any other option except joining, though they are not interested to join. So this is one reason why people join in the trade unions. Next reason why people join in trade unions is sense of empowerment. So when the employees try to join trade unions is they feel that they are empowered with something. So even when the employers are reasonable, fair, trustworthy, but still employees may join trade unions because when they join in the trade union, they feel that they are going to get some sort of security, they are going to get some sort of uh, power, or they feel that they'll get some sort of strength in dealing with the management or in dealing with the superiors. So when individuals are joining in the trade unions, they may feel that they are going to get formal uh, they are going to get some power, and that power is going to make the individuals as influential because of that group influence or a trade union influence. So individuals will join trade union uh, with a reason that uh, they may get empowerment when they join in this group or in any trade union. Next reason why workers join in trade union is peer group influence. So peer group influence refers to the influence exerted by friends or co-workers on an employee to change his attitudes in order to conform, CONFORM, conform to the customs and norms. Let us take one example. For example, the friends and colleagues may prevail upon a non-union employee to join the union. When the unionized friends put constant pressure, the employee may ultimately yield to such pressure and decides in favor of joining the union. So unionized members, they will try to pressurize their non-unionized friend to join in the union. So when that pressure is mounting, the individual may feel like though there is no other option, because of this peer group influence, he will join in the trade union. So these are all the reasons why workers join in trade unions. One is defense against exploitation. Second one, fulfillment of social and esteem needs. Third one is compulsion to join. Fourth one is peer group influence. Fifth one is sense of empowerment. Let us try to understand what are different types of trade unions. So these are the different types of trade unions. First one is craft by occupational unions. Second one is industrial unions. Third one is general unions. Fourth one is white collar unions. So first one, craft by occupational unions. Second one, industrial unions. Third one, general unions. Fourth one, white collar unions. Let us try to understand these types of trade unions in detail. Let us see the first one, craft by occupational union. So the earliest kind of occupational union is known as craft union. So a craft union is an organization of wage earners engaged in a single craft or occupation or a group of closely related crafts or occupations. So craft union is an organization of wage earners engaged in a single craft or an occupation or a group of closely related crafts. For example, unions of carpenters, plumbers, electricians, weavers, and crane drivers. They are all coming under the category of craft union. In general, these craft unions are not found in India. They are rarely found in India, but they are mostly identified in USA and UK. Similar to craft union is occupational union or professional union. Now, this professional union or occupational union is essentially a union of employees with specialized skills, such as union of teachers, uh, physicians, engineers, chartered accountants, journalists, pilots, engineers, etc. So professional by occupational union is essentially a union of employees with specialized skills related to their profession. Maybe teacher, or it may be physician, or it may be engineer, or chartered account, or journalist, or pilot. So this is first one, craft by occupational union. The second type of union is industrial unions. So these are mostly identified unions. An industrial trade union is the one which covers various categories of workers engaged in a particular industrial establishment or in any industry, irrespective of any distinctions based on craft, skills, or nature of job. So to be member of this union, they need not to be doing same type of job. So people may be coming from any type, any craft in the industry or any skill or any type of job. So an industrial trade union is the one which covers various categories of workers engaged in a particular industrial establishment or any industry, irrespective of any distinction based on craft, skills, or nature of job. So these industrial unions, they're all a combination of different employees. They may be unskilled, semi-skilled, skilled, highly skilled. And these cover all categories of jobs such as craft, skill, or job. Okay, people may be of different skills, people may be from different categories. Altogether, they are members of industrial union. Let us take the examples. One example for industrial union is Tata Workers Union. So irrespective of the type of job or skill they belong to, and all the workers from in different industries of Tata, they all formed as a group called Tata Workers Union. Second union is in the Indian National Textile Workers Federation. Indian National Textile Workers Federation. So these two are examples for industrial unions. Let us try to understand what are the strengths of these industrial unions. Industrial unions promotes solidarity among heterogeneous groups of workers. They promote solidarity among heterogeneous groups of workers. And they provide convenience in negotiations with the employer, and they have greater adaptability in the event of technological changes because of their type of combination of members in the union. So these three are the strengths. It promotes solidarity among the heterogeneous groups of workers and convenience in negotiations with the employer, greater adaptability in the event of technological changes. Let us see what are the weaknesses. Difficulties in satisfying all groups of members because people may be coming from diversified skill set, diversified categories. That is the reason why it may be difficult to satisfy all the group members. Second weakness is more attention to the interests of the group, providing bulk membership. So here the main attention is to the bulk membership. Third one is encouraging to the formation of small-sized unions due to formation viability may lead to union rivalries. So here the main thing is union formation. When so many people are joining in different unions, because formation of this union is very easy. So rivalry among the unions may happen because the union formation is very easy as per law. So small size unions, very big unions, and unions may fight for their existence, or unions may fight for power, that may lead to union rivalries, where the basic purpose of union is lost when unions are fighting for exhibiting their power. But industrial union is mostly they are mostly uh, found. Let us see the third one, general unions. A general union is the one, the membership of this union is open to different categories of workers, irrespective of any distinctions based on craft, occupation, industry, nature of employment. So anyone can join these general unions. So this general union may be a single union for the entire working class, or an amalgamation of several unions representing workers of different industries. So different industries, workers or employees working in different industries, or employees working in different classes, they all together form get a member in general union. So general union is the one where the membership is open to different categories of workers, irrespective of any distinctions based on craft, occupation, industry, or nature of employment. And at the same time, a general union may be a single union for the entire working class, or an amalgamation of several unions representing different workers from different industries. And these general unions are very powerful in mobilizing people for doing strikes at national level. These are some examples of general unions. One, All India Trade Union Congress, AITUC. Second one, NTUC, INC, National Trade Union Congress. These two are examples for general unions that are existing at national level. The fourth type of union is white collar union. This is similar to occupational unions, but there is a small difference. These unions are similar to occupational unions, except for the fact that the uniting factors for the workers of such union is the nature of job, and it is not related to skills. So the type of nature of job is differentiating occupational union from white collar union. The people who will form as white collar unions are either they may be salaried class, and the people who are in administrative activities and positions, they all form into white collar unions. So white collar unions class is generally engaged in administrative activities of the organizations. So these are the four unions or four trade unions. So first one, craft by occupational union. Second one, industrial union. Third one, general union. Fourth one, white collar union. Let us try to understand the last one, that is federations. Federations are industrial unions, either of the same industry or different industries may form into an association in order to improve the unity among trade unions during the critical situations. So federations are industrial unions, either of the same industry or different industries may form into an association in order to improve the unity among the trade unions during the critical situations. Example, Federation of Indian Railways. So altogether in this session, we study these 5 trade unions. Let us try to understand what are different functions of trade unions. So as per the Trade Union Act 1926, the main aim of trade unions is to see that better wages and better living conditions for workers are provided. So one, to secure better wages and better living conditions for the workers is one function. Second one, trade unions will provide confidence to workers. As we were discussing, they will provide sense of empowerment to the workers. Third one, to imbibe sincerity and discipline in workers. Fourth one, to take welfare measures to improve the morale of the workers. Trade unions collectively negotiate or bargain or demand for the basic working conditions and welfare measures. When they are able to get the required health, safety, welfare measures, definitely employees' morale will be increased. Trade unions perform different a number of functions in order to achieve the objectives. So the functions are classified into two. One is militant functions. Second one is fraternal functions. So first one is militant functions. Second one is fraternal functions. Let us see the first one, militant functions. One set of activities performed by trade unions leads to the betterment of the position of their members in relation to the employment. So militant functions are one set of activities that are performed by the trade unions for the betterment of their union members in the employment. So the main aim of these militant function activities is to provide such as giving adequate wages or fighting for adequate wages, fighting for better working conditions and security at workplace, and getting better treatment from the employers. So fighting for better treatment. All these are some of the activities that are performed by trade unions under militant functions. When the unions fail to accomplish these objectives by the method of collective bargaining and negotiations, they adopt an approach and put up a fight with the management. Okay? Generally, trade unions strive for getting these things. If in case they are unable to get these things with the help of collective bargaining or other negotiation techniques, they may go for strikes. So in such a way also, they can get the things for their union members. Hence, these functions of the trade unions are known as militant or fighting functions. So these type of functions are called as militant functions or fighting functions. So the militant functions, we can sum it up like they will try to fight for achieving adequate wages and better working conditions, and these functions will raise the status of workers as a part of industry, and they will fight against the victimization, injustice, exploitation of workers in the form of giving them strength and power. This is one function, that is militant function. Second type of functions are fraternal functions. These are another set of functions performed by trade unions, and they are indeed needed for improving the efficiency. So these trade unions in this function try to foster a spirit of cooperation and promote friendly employee relations. And they try to diffuse education and culture among their members. So fraternal function try to promote a spirit of cooperation and promote friendly relations. And they will try to inculcate education among the members. They take up welfare measures for improving the morale of workers and generate self-confidence among them. So they take up welfare measures for improving the morale of the workers. They also assist the workers and the workers in the form of legal assistance if needed. And the unions under the fraternal function, they may undertake the publication of magazine or journal. So these activities, which may be called as fraternal functions, depend on the availability of funds which the unions raise by subscription from members and donations from outsiders. Thus, we can understand under the fraternal functions, the trade unions will try to increase the morale of the workers by providing support wherever it is necessary, and they will try to educate the employees, and they will try to foster a good culture where the workers will be developed in their careers. So to generate self-confidence among the workers is one function. To take up welfare measures for improving the morale of the workers is another function. To encourage sincerity and discipline among the workers. To provide opportunities for promotion and growth. To protect women workers against discrimination. And to provide intramural, extramural, and political activities. These are all different functions coming under fraternal functions of trade union. So trade union will perform two types of functions. One is militant functions, second one is fraternal functions. Intramural activities or intramural functions, they refer to welfare schemes of unions which are carried on within the four walls of the organization. Intramural means within, extramural outside the organization but within the boundary of the organization. So intramural facilities or intramural activities that trade unions fight for is wages, better working conditions, safety provisions, and other things. The way they will get these things is through collective bargaining, discussions, negotiations, strikes, and boycotts. Extramural activities where trade unions fight for is general welfare of the members, such as housing, education, recreation, and other things. Political activities. In a democratic country like India, trade unions actively involve with the legislative assembly in deciding different labor legislations or in deciding what type of laws are needed to protect the interest and rights of the workers. So these three are also the functions that are coming under fraternal functions of trade unions. Now, let us try to understand what are different problems faced by trade unions. These are all different problems faced by trade unions. One, trade union leadership. Second one, multiple unions. Third one, union rivalry. Fourth one, weak financial position. Fifth one, low membership. Sixth one, heterogeneous nature of labor. Seventh one, lack of interest, absence of paid office bearers. Let us see the first one, trade union leadership. So trade union leadership will try to explain about. First one, trade union leadership or external leadership. Before independence, the situation is like workers are less educated. They need some help from outside leaders or from the other political parties. Over a period of time after independence and because of increase in the education, there is no requirement of outside leaders or other things, but the practice still is being continued where people from political parties or powerful political leaders, they are influencing the trade unions and they are using these trade unions for their political party ideologies, and because of them the trade unions are uh, fading away or they are losing their identity. So leadership is a big problem in trade unions. Though the leaders are strong, they are influenced by the political parties ideologies and other things. Second one is multiple unions. Another problem with the trade unions is multiple unions will kill the productivity because they may not come to a conclusion for the things, and the different unions will have different ideologies. The individuals may not understand the ideology of each union. In nowadays, in the present scenario, each political party has their own trade union that is affiliated. So all these things they may affect the employees. So multiple unions is a big problem because when you have multiple unions, no single union will get the complete grip or advantage to negotiate with the managements. Third one is union rivalry. So union rivalry or inter-union rivalry is another problem faced by trade union that affects the collective bargaining and negotiation space. When the elected union is dealing or negotiating with the management, the other union may spoil this negotiation process or they may become setbacks for the negotiation process, and they may create trouble uh, with this type of rivalry. They may create troubles to the entire organization in terms of product. Now, this inter-union rivalry may divert the actual things or actual purpose of the work. Another problem of trade union is weak financial position. So any union that it has to sustain or that it has to run means it should have certain amount of financial capability. In when the trade union is getting membership, at least it may be small amount of membership, it is able to manage office, it is able to do the regular activities. When it is unable to, it is run out of financial liquidity, it may not be possible to effectively work. So weak financial position is another problem faced by trade union. Next one is declining memberships or low memberships. Because service sector is growing day by day, we can observe there is a declining trend in the membership of unions. And moreover, these private sectors are increasing day by day. Private sectors are trying to reduce the trade unions to be formed. And private organizations, they reduced the memberships of the trade unions also. So this is another problem faced by the trade union, low membership or declining membership. And moreover, the attitude of the individuals towards the trade unions also getting changed day by day. And next problem is heterogeneous or diverse nature of labor. So it is very difficult to satisfy diverse set of labor in the union. So when people are belonging to the same group, they may fight for the same cause, and all people with a similar need or similar interest, they may have a discussion. But when a union is having a diversified set of people, it may be difficult to deal with that. That's the reason why diverse nature of labor is also another problem faced by trade unions. Next one is absence of paid office bearers. As we were discussing, if the trade union has the amount to be running, then it can have a formal structure. It can have people to work on it, and it will have it can create some office bearers to communicate regularly what is happening or the happenings about the trade unions. But because these trade unions are not doing properly or they are not focusing much, and the trade unions do not have these office bearers, so the information may not be flowing properly. So this is another problem faced by trade unions. So these are all different problems faced by the trade unions. Trade union leadership, second one, multiple unions, union rivalry, weak financial position, low membership, diverse nature of labor, uh, absence of bearers. So these are all different concepts associated with the trade unions. What is a trade union? And what are the characteristics of trade unions? What are different uh, types of trade unions? And what are the problems faced by the trade unions?